morning. This year has been both a privilege and an insight. A privilege to serve alongside Carl and Tracy and my other colleagues across the district, and an insight into many of the things which I previously had no clue about, but are important to the way the district functions. I currently serve as the assistant to the district superintendent for 8 hours a week and have been involved in a number of ways since starting last May. I've attended district advisory board meetings and have been involved in communicating and reporting between meetings. I've attended district events as much as possible and was involved in planning the district assembly, Dare to Go, and the upcoming creative retreat in January. I've enjoyed meeting and connecting with some district licensed pastors who were assigned to me over the year to offer some district pastoral support and prayer. One of my main responsibilities was to work alongside the Board of Ministry and to think through some of the processes that are in place for when a person first experiences the call of God to when an ordained minister goes on to complete their continuing education. This has included things like helping to review forms and documents, writing and implementing new policies, overseeing the lifelong learning, and developing ways of how we can make resources more readily available. We met as a Board of Ministry on the 7th and 8th of February for 2 good and fruitful days of meetings, where we heard stories of faith, calling, trust, disappointment, growth, and passion for God and His church. It is the biggest privilege to serve as part of this board, as we seek to help men and women in their discernment process towards ordained ministry in the Church of the Nazarene. And we'll hear more about this in the Board of Ministry report later. We are also thinking of creative ways to connect with and resource our pastors, and this is ongoing. Connected to this, I've enjoyed working as part of the team to facilitate the Ministry Assessment Centre, or MAC for short. This is a joint district initiative with British Isles North, which aims to determine the gifts, passion, capability, and suitability of people involved in or considering licensed ministry in the International Church of the Nazarene. The MAC currently runs over 3 days and includes an application, references, profiling tools, interviews, interaction, observation, and simulations. At the end of the 3rd day, the assessors make a final evaluation of each candidate, which is aimed to be supportive, encouraging, and directional. This year, we've started a review of the process, from the application forms to the assessment criteria. We are keen that there is consistency for when a person starts their journey and the language and criteria that are used to when they are ordained and the gifts and graces that are recognised. We've contacted other denominations to look at how they carry out their discernment processes and have gleaned some ideas and wisdom that we will weave in and implement into our assessment. This is probably a highlight of the year for me, when we have the opportunity to hear people's stories and journey with them through various activities, tasks, and group work. 3 people who attended MAC last year and met with the Board of Ministry in February are being granted their first district minister's licence at this assembly. Please continue to pray for our licensed pastors and those exploring a call to ministry. Another area that I have really enjoyed is overseeing some of the communications for the district. It was good to work with Tom Salmons, who was our communications officer until he stepped down in January, and I want to thank him for all the foundations he laid for us in his role, setting up various platforms and sharing information and stories that were both important and relevant for the district. I've tried to develop our branding and develop the platforms further. And moving forward, we are keen to draw together a team from across the district to capture stories and create content and resources that will enrich and bless the wider church. If you or someone you know would be interested in this, either as a photographer, a videographer, a journalist, a graphic designer, or other creative, please get in touch. I'd love to have a chat with you. Part of this has also included conversations with the North District as we try to develop our website and look at communications across the British Isles. I'm excited about what this next year holds and the ways in which God is breathing life into our district and the ways in which we can all help to cultivate local healthy churches. I want to thank you for this opportunity to serve in this role. I really love it, and I'll continue to pour my heart into it for as long as I am able. Respectfully submitted, Michelle Lynam.